Ladies, well, welcome for Caroline. Wow, okay. Tension.
I'm actually married to an evil man. You know, cheating is an abomination.
Do you regret it? Do you take it back? Do you have any apologies? Or do you still own it with your full chest?
Saying to her on TV, yes, but I still hold on to it.
Hey!
If she wants to listen to the streets, I can't stop her. And if the streets wants to talk, I can't stop them from talking. I know who I am, and I know what I'm worth.
Bitch! Hey! Hey, God! Hey! Guys, listen. This Real Housewives of Lagos reunion show. Hey, God. He choke. He choke. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Glory Elijah and this is Frankly Speaking with Glory. I am the girl with the tea. Listen, before I get into spilling the tea of the first episode of the Real Housewives of Lagos reunion show, I just want to quickly remind you all that tomorrow is Saturday. And you know what happens on here? We are going to be having our family meeting, our FSWG Saturday YouTube live stream. Trust me. Hey, you do not want to miss out tomorrow because there's a lot to talk about. Trust me, you don't want to miss out. If this is your first time clicking on my video to watch, thank you so much for doing so. But please do not forget to hit the red subscribe button to become a part of this family, okay? And if you always want to receive a lot of my videos, yes, if you love content that cuts across reality TV shows, movies, and trending social topics, that is what we dish out on this channel. On this channel, we analyze, we review, we give the most detailed, factual, accurate analysis of those areas that I mentioned. So if you enjoy content like that, please click on the white bell button, all right, to always receive notifications of whenever I upload a new video, all right? That said, let's quickly jump into this analysis. Okay, so let's start with the intro. To be very frank with you all, guys, I was really impressed. The ladies were looking stunning. They were all looking regal in their outfit. Oh my God, the pop of color, the splash of, you know, Africanness, Nigerianness that they were all embodying, guys. It was really spot on. Each and every single one of them was wearing an outfit that represents the major tribes and cultures of Nigeria, and it made them look so queenly in their own right, guys. And it was obvious that there was excitement in the air. The ladies were really excited. However, Caroline was not present in the intro. Yes, in the midst of all of that excitement, Jesus, the blabbing started again. And Uti had gone ahead to ask the ladies if they felt like Caroline was not going to show up at all, you know, looking at the fact that she did not join them in the introduction. And Chioma had said that she was sure that Caroline was going to show up. But then, quite shockingly, Mariam started putting off some very, very interesting attitude. Yes. I mean, guys, at that point in time, it felt like she decided to pack all the beef of the other women, you know, on top of her head. And then she was making some very, very interesting gestures like,
My nails are frozen. It's like, I don't care.
I don't care. Like she was basically saying that she did not really care if Caroline showed up or not. Now, guys, that kind of fascinated me because I was wondering, like, okay, Glory Elijah, is there something we're missing here? Was there ever a time that Caroline and Mariam had an unending beef, you know, like the kind of beef she had with Chioma, Toyin, Laura, Iyabo? Like which beef, like which actual heavy beef exists between Mariam and Caroline? Or could it be that Mariam was just basically inheriting the entire group's beef towards Caroline and decided to be the spokeswoman, you know, to pass on that kind of information? Guys, it just does not really make sense. Anyways, the first issue that was raised was the friendship drama between Chioma and Laura. Guys, we know that that was the first drama of the season. So Uti had gone ahead to show us a clip of Chioma and Iyabo having conversations about her stance, you know, with Laura. Is Laura your friend? Laura said you people are friends, blah, blah, blah. And Chioma had gone ahead in that clip to clarify or set the record straight that, of course, Laura was a client, Laura had patronized her, but calling Laura a friend would be a far reach. Now, Uche had gone ahead to ask Laura if what Chioma said was right. And guys, hey, to be very frank with you, I was quite shocked that Laura had finally admitted that Chioma was right.
She has said several times that we're not, oh, hey. She has said several times that we're not friends, and trust me, Chioma is 150% correct. Me and Laura, everybody's my friend. My clients are my friends.
And I'm like, wow, Laura, this is actually a huge switch from the Laura that we actually watched on the show, because guys, if we all recall, that was Laura's bone of contention with Chioma. Whatever issue Laura had with Chioma on the Real Housewives of Lagos season 1, it all emanated, it all stemmed from that one problem. Chioma not acknowledging Laura as a friend, but as a customer, as a client. Guys, I was shook, and I'm like, okay, this reunion, I was actually expecting Laura to come and own it up with her full chest, but then yet again, Laura disappoints us by coming to come and say that, oh, Chioma was right. I said, okay, it's fine. But then Uche moved on to Chioma, and Chioma explained herself that, listen, it wasn't like she meant it in a derogatory way. For her, that was what it was.
I think everybody was pretty much trying to acclimatize and adjust in the situation. Honestly, I was taken aback at the level of offense she took to what I said, because I didn't mean it in a bad way, and that's the God's honest truth.
Still on Laura being the drama, the next clip that we watched was the ladies playing the whispering game at the Ilashe Beach Resort. Guys, if you all recall, I think it was in episode 2, Iyabo had hosted the ladies to a beach staycation, I think for 3 days, and Laura had been absent with the excuse of her being afraid of water. Yes, you were afraid of water, but then when it was time to go to Dubai, you had found yourself on a boat yacht. Shebi, the yachts, they float on top of water, I mean on top of sand. So the clip was played, and it was very obvious from all what we saw that Caroline said little to almost nothing derogatory about Laura. As a matter of fact, she was the one that was even against the idea of Iyabo impersonating, or should I say mimicking, Laura in that game. But then the other ladies, they had actually gone ahead to have fun and say things about Laura. So Uche had gone ahead to ask the major question that everybody had been waiting to hear the answer to. Who spilled the beans to Laura? Now, this was the part where, guys, to be very frank with you, I had 2 things to say about Laura's character. Number 1, Laura is really a ride or die. Yes. And number 2, I don't know if I should say that Laura acted like a coward to some extent with Toyin on this reunion, in this one episode of the reunion, because Uche had asked her, you know, if really any of the ladies said anything to her at all about, oh, Caroline said this or that, or it was just her own strategy to cause drama. Guys, instead of Laura to own up to the fact that indeed Toyin had said things to her, you know, that Caroline said this and that about you, she had gone ahead to lie. And then she had said that, oh, it was our own strategy to pass on a message to one of the ladies to tell Caroline that she does not like Caroline. That before the show, she and Caroline had an issue, and when she saw Caroline on the show, she just wanted to let Caroline know straight up that she does not like Caroline. So that was her own way of passing on that message. And guys, oh my God. But then she had realized after watching the show that Caroline was actually the only person that had said the least things about her. That Caroline had even been the kindest towards her in her absence, whilst the other ladies were saying a lot of crazy things about her.
Watching the show, and I just realized that she said the least, you know, things about me. Yeah, she was even the nicest there.
Uche had gone ahead to ask Iyabo about her post. Apparently, Iyabo had made a post about that entire scenario when that episode aired, you know, making reference to the fact that she strongly believed that it was Toyin that had actually said things to Laura that made Laura to come and tell her at the spa that she was going to slap Caroline. She said it 3 times. Now, when Uche had asked Iyabo, Iyabo had stood around that it was because during that conversation with Laura, Laura had mentioned it about 3 times. Laura kept on saying it over and over again. Oh, Toyin told me so. Toyin told me so. And she had asked Laura again, and Laura had confirmed that yes, Toyin told me so. Now, when Toyin was going to defend herself, Toyin has said that, as a matter of fact, that Caroline has said a lot of things about Laura that they just did not show it on that episode. Oh, yeah, said the things that Caroline had said. And that was when Toyin said that, oh, she has said that you were rude to her at my master class. She has said that you did this and that. You gave her attitude.
She said the most about me. I didn't say the most about you. Iyabo said the most about you. Yeah, she didn't know anything about me. They did not show where Caroline said things about you. Everybody was there. Caroline said. I wasn't there. Yes, you were not there. But Caroline said you were rude to her at my master class and you picked on her and trolled her on the mic.
Ladies and gentlemen, you see, this was the point, the part when I started, like, guys, I was doing some crazy calculations in my head and I'm thinking, how was that derogatory against Laura? How was that offensive towards Laura? If Laura was rude to her, Caroline said it. Did Caroline insult Laura? Did Caroline, like, how? What? When? Why? Guys, I had questions. But it was just very obvious that at that point in time, Toyin had no line of defense, and that line of defense that she brought, it was just very, very weak, very weak and petty. And it was very obvious that of a truth, all what everybody has been saying, that Toyin was the instigator, that Toyin was using Laura to fight her battles against Caroline, her 12-year-old beef against Caroline. That was exactly what Toyin did by spreading that false narrative about Caroline to Laura. And even what's her name? Even Iyabo said it, that listen, that she did not see anything derogatory that Caroline had said about Laura. So she was also wondering what Toyin had said to Laura that would warrant Laura to say that she would slap Caroline 3 times, you know, when she sees Caroline. I mean, guys, hey God, that was just a mess. And it was very obvious that Laura was obviously trying to protect Toyin, guys, and that was why I said that Laura is obviously a ride or die. But the problem is sometimes she does it blindly. Now, guys, this next scene of the reunion show was when the actual drama started. This was when the actual juiciness of the show started. So this was what happened. Uchi was talking about Mariam's introduction to the group. Guys, if you all recall, in that same, I think towards the end of that episode 3, Toyin had been having a conversation with Mariam, you know, telling Mariam about the group, what the ladies will like you, they have no choice, blah, blah, blah. And then in episode 4, when Chioma had hosted the ladies in Abuja, that was when Mariam had officially joined the group. That was where the handshake saga between Mariam and Caroline had happened, where Mariam was lying, obviously, that Caroline shook her like this, whereas after we watched the actual scene again, Caroline had actually given Mariam a full handshake. So Uti was asking Mariam, you know, questions about, oh, the ladies felt like you were too much, like you were doing too much, but was that your game plan? Was that your strategy? What was that all about? And Mariam was basically making a case for herself that, oh, it was because of the champagne that she had that night, that it wasn't her game plan. Now, as Mariam was talking, I mean, she was saying a lot of things, she was yapping. We were also seeing on the flip side of the screen, Caroline walking towards the reunion set. And I'm sure that I wasn't the only viewer that stopped paying attention to whatever Mariam was blabbing about. And before we knew it, that was when Caroline walked into the set.
Oh.
Hey!
I thought we were done. I thought you weren't showing up. Oh, what color?
Guys, hey! If looks could kill, hey, Jesus Christ. Caroline for don't buy. My goodness. Guys, did you see the stairs? Did you see the looks? Let me tell you, yeah, the juicy part of Caroline's dramatic entrance, yeah, was the fact that everybody's face, aside from Uti's face, was looking stone cold. They were looking as though they were shocked, like they had seen a ghost. Mind you, Caroline did not come in with them during their own introduction, so they probably felt like Caroline was not going to come, or they probably was expecting Caroline, but not in the manner that Caroline had walked in. And guys, oh my God, Toyin's face Oh my, in fact, all of them, they were looking like they just wanted Caroline to just drop dead. And she did the courteous thing to do. She said hello to all the ladies, but none of them answered. And Uti said, that guy, Uti did something that really made me happy. Uti now decided to add pepper to the injury by asking the ladies, no hello to Caroline.
What ladies? Well, welcome for Caroline.
Guys, that part, sweet me die. Anyways, the questions shifted to Caroline. So Uti had gone ahead to ask Caroline why she was skeptical about Mariam, that it seemed as though she was accepting of the rest of the ladies, but not Mariam. But then Caroline had gone ahead to explain that now, that she was only skeptical about Mariam's use of language. You know, all those fu, biatch, guys. Mariam used a truckload of that in episode 4 when she was newly introduced to the group, right? And then Uti had gone ahead to ask Mariam about Caroline's greeting. Now for Mariam, she had said that she was basically comparing the way Caroline greeted her to the way the other ladies welcomed her. Guys, in my head, I felt like, okay, that's another lie, because babe, during that episode, that was your own bone of contention. You lied that Caroline greeted you like this, whereas when we saw that scene again and again, she shook your hands properly, you know, so why are you coming here to come and change your mouth? And then Mariam had also gone ahead to explain that she was offended, you know, when she watched that particular episode and saw Caroline's confessionals, when Caroline was making faces and, you know, making some statements about the things that she had said she had done during her truth or dare. According to her, Caroline has done worse. The streets are talking. Guys, hey. And Uti had gone ahead to ask Mariam, oh, can you explain what you mean by the streets are talking? And to be honest, Mariam could not explain. Instead, she repeated what she said, oh, the streets are talking. Now, it was time for Caroline to speak. Guys, oh my God, I just could not help loving Caroline's demeanor at that point in time. She said the streets are talking. I can't help what she says or what she hears. And if the streets are talking, I can't stop the streets from talking. Chai! Anybody that comes at me moving forward, that's the line for you. Period. I mean, if we're being honest with ourselves, we know for a fact that this reunion show is edited. But you see that response that Caroline gave to Mariam? Honestly, that was an amazing way to shut up a speculation that has no head or tail. Honestly, because when Uti went ahead to ask Mariam, oh, what do you mean when you said the streets are talking? If Mariam really wanted to come at Caroline, because from the introduction, she had been shaking her body, she had been vibrating, like she wanted to come and beat Caroline up. If she really wanted to get at Caroline, that was an amazing opportunity for her to do so. But then obviously, it's either she had nothing to say, or she did not have a fact right, or she did not really have receipts, and so she just had to go ahead and say, the streets are talking. Oh Lord. And then the next issue to be addressed was Laura's drama. Laura the drama, Laura the show, Laura the everything. And I loved the clip that Uti had played. You know, Laura clearly admitted that she was deliberately causing the drama. She was doing whatever she was doing. She was just showing off and on in the groups, doing whatever she wanted to do. So for those of you that were saying that it was because Laura was pregnant, that was why she was being irritable, I'm sorry. I mean, guys, that clip compilation of all of Laura's off and on drama, guys, it just clearly went to show that, you know, it clearly went to show all that I had been saying, that Laura was being very, very intentional about bringing the drama to the show, and that was exactly what she did. Just as expected, Uti had gone ahead to ask Laura the one question that I'm sure that everybody had been waiting for the answer to once again. Who is Laura? Is it the Laura that likes the drama, that brings the drama, or is it the Laura that is quite, you know, fun-loving, bubbly, and all of that? And Laura had gone ahead to tell us who she really is. She's bubbly, she likes fun, she likes smiling, she's happy, but she holds grudges a lot. She holds grudges for a long time. Guys, when Laura was saying all of that, to be very frank with you, I'm like, okay, fine, she's only humane, right? She's only humane. But the way she was saying it, she sounded so proud of herself. My God. Then Uti had gone ahead, to ask Toyin what she felt about what Laura had said. And Toyin had made a very, very valid point that, listen, if Laura goes to the bank, with drama, would they give her money? And guys, obviously the answer to that is hell no. But it probably brings money to her bank account in some way because, there are those brands that enjoy drama. They enjoy people that have traffic, people that have controversies surrounding them to some extent. As long as they have engagement with them, brands will definitely patronize them. So we've been seeing a lot of that happening with Laura of late, whilst the show was still airing. So in a way, that drama is kind of paying off for Laura, right? But then Toyin also went ahead to say something very valid that, yes, that it seems as though Laura shows a different side of her to every single person according to how she wants to relate with them. And guys, in the bulk of all what Toyin said, I totally agree with that. With Toyin, Laura is very, very careful, threads carefully with Iyabo. Laura is very, very, scared, kinda. But with Caroline, Laura is coming like a lion. And then it was time to talk about Chioma's lateness. Guys, Uti did the honorable thing, in my opinion, though. Yes, remember in one of Chioma's confessionals, she had talked about, her, accepting her lateness as it is. She would gladly even receive a sash to, show that, yes, she's the queen of being fashionably late. Guys, Chioma got her wish granted. Yes, because Uti presented her with a sash as the best in late coming. But then the good thing is she had gone ahead to once again apologize to the ladies on a constant lateness. Of course, she had also gone ahead to counter Uti's question. Uti had asked her if she was being deliberately late or if it was because she wanted to make a statement or whatever. And she had said that, regardless of what anybody else has said, of course, we know that she was referring to Toyin, yes, that she was not being deliberately late. It was because of other indices, which they had explained on the show and in most of the interviews that she and some of the other ladies had granted. And then she had gone ahead to admit that it was while she was watching the show episode by episode that she realized that she had not really come across as sensitive as she should have, especially when she and Caroline had arrived at Mariam's dinner 5 hours late. Yes, I mean, Iyabo as well even admitted that Caroline's apology had sounded more remorseful than Chioma's apology. And then I liked the question that Uti had asked because Uti had shown the clip of that dinner event and what's her name, Iyabo addressing Chioma, the rest of the ladies talking. She had gone ahead to ask the women why none of them except Iyabo had gone ahead to address Chioma's lateness at that point in time, at that table. Now, they were all saying that, they had not addressed it, but Uti was very insistent that no, that first time at that dining table. Now, that was when Mariam had gone ahead to say that, at that point in time, she felt like Chioma's apology was not remorseful enough, that Caroline's apology was more remorseful than Chioma's apology. But much later, on different occasions, they had talked about it, they had addressed it, right? That everybody had addressed it, except for Laura, especially on that dining table. Laura was the only person that had remained silent. Guys, if you all remember that particular episode, I think it was episode 8 or 9, whilst they were talking, Laura was silent. She was saying she was bored. She had even had that own, clash with Toyin when she was telling Toyin that Toyin was doing too much, right? Guys, if you all recall, that before Chioma and Caroline's arrival, Laura had been very loud and vocal about it. Oh, what is wrong with you guys? This is wrong. This is wrong. It's supposed to be a lunch or dinner, blah, blah, blah. She was upset. But then when Chioma and Caroline had arrived, she had not really said anything. Now, guys, we had made an excuse for her that, okay, probably because she did not want to start up drama in Mariam's house. Mariam had said the same thing, that she had not really reacted the way she wanted to react because she had told them she did not want drama in her house. And Laura had also claimed that it was the mimosa that she was drinking. I think she said she was feeling tipsy or something, probably acting like the drink had gotten to her head. She was probably tipsy or drunk or something. But then Iyabo had said no, that the message she sent the next day on WhatsApp, it just went to show that she was actually really upset about Chioma and Caroline's lateness, for her to have gone to that extent of sending such a rude and offensive message. So it wasn't really because she was drunk. About those WhatsApp messages, of course, we had been shown the entire clip all over again. I mean, guys, those messages were insane. Yes. Now, Laura had sworn in God's name that message she had sent addressing Chioma and Caroline was not malicious. Hey, God, guys. To be very frank with you, yeah, there's nothing Laura would say in this life that will make me believe that that message was not malicious. But listen, it's not about me. I'm going to air my own opinion more on the live stream tomorrow that we're having by 3 p.m. WAT. But then moving on to Chioma's response to that, Chioma did not believe that it wasn't malicious because of the way that Laura had addressed she and Caroline in the message, talk to your girls, you know, that she felt like that was rude. Now, Uti had gone ahead to address Caroline. According to him, it was quite surprising how she took everything, you know, on that WhatsApp messages from 0 to 100. So he was asking her, you know, what really irked her about Laura's message, you know, that made her react the way she did. Now, according to Caroline, it was a build-up. Laura had been picking on her, which we had all seen on the show. Laura had been picking on her. Laura had been saying a lot of crazy things about her, Laura's attitude towards her. So it was just generally a build-up of all of Laura's excesses towards her, and that was why she reacted that way. Now, if it was overstretched on TV, yes, she regretted that that happened on TV, but about if she regretted standing up for herself, she said she did not. She's going to stand up for herself a million times over. The next thing we saw was some Twitter users' reactions to the WhatsApp messages, the exchange, the insult exchange between Caroline and Laura. Now, two people were accusing Caroline of being the trouble starter, the one that started the insult at Laura, that what Laura said it was not meant to trigger anything, which was quite surprising to me, to be very honest, guys. And on the other hand, other Twitter users claimed that Chioma was really yapping her mouth inside the car with Caroline, was really fueling the whole thing. But then when the fight happened, Chioma was hiding behind Caroline, you know, for shield, and then allowing Caroline to go ahead and fight her battles for her. Guys, you don't want to trigger Twitter users. They'll come for you. Now, prior to that, if you all recall, when Chioma was preparing for her good hair charity did, she was on the phone. She had called Mariam actually, and she did not understand why Laura had put up the kind of act that she had put up at Mariam's dinner. So they were having conversations about it. Now, Uti's question to her at that point was that, was she trying to instigate something, or what was she, you know, on about? So she had claimed that she wasn't instigating anything, that they were having conversations about all of Laura's bad manners at the dinner table the previous night. And it was whilst they were having that conversation on the phone that Laura's messages started dropping on the WhatsApp group. So Uti had gone ahead to ask Laura how she felt about Caroline accusing her of being pimped, you know, to a certain governor. Guys, if you all recall, when Iyabo had called for an intervention with the ladies to address all the drama that had been happening in the group between Laura and the rest of the ladies, not just with Caroline, it had resulted into a big fight between Caroline and Laura that resulted into a massive altercation. Both of them, they had thrown nasty words at each other, and that was where Caroline had also, you know, insulted Laura that she was a runs girl, that she was being pimped. Of course, we knew that Laura too had thrown back at Caroline that, oh, Caroline sleeps with small boys. And guys, we know that that information was coming from Toyin. Laura's response to Uti was that she was married to an Igbo man, and cheating in the Igbo culture is an abomination.
I'm actually married to an Igbo man. You know, cheating is an abomination.
So how was it possible for her to cheat? She had gone ahead as well to also explain that she was barely going to sell her book, so she had known somebody that was connected to that particular governor. She didn't sell her books. She was giving her books for free. She had given it to primary school, secondary school students, university school students. Then she wanted to connect with that governor, you know, to sponsor the giving out of her book, and that was where she was surprised that, oh, Caroline was accusing her of being pimped, blah blah blah.
So were you married as of the time
I
she
was
said
in
you were about to
2007. When I wrote my book, I just got married. Everybody knows that I didn't actually sell those books. I didn't sell my books. I gave them out for free. I went to secondary school, primary school, I went to university, I went to Unilag, I went to my, you know, former faculty. I gave the books out for free. I don't want to mention his name. I told my friend, I said, hey, I know that you're close to this particular governor.
Even when the husband heard of it, the husband was shocked, you know, that she's a married woman, blah, blah, blah. Guys, before I move on to Caroline's response, I just want to say something. I want to put this out there. You know, when Laura said that she's married to an Igbo man and cheating is an abomination, guys, to be very honest, I had a good laugh. And this is not me saying that what Caroline said about Laura is true. I wasn't there. Oh. Listen, but what I just want to put out there is that, listen, in this Nigeria, a lot of married women cheat, just as much as a lot of married men cheat. It does not matter which tribe they are from. And guys, this is the deal. It's not only in the Igbo culture that cheating in marriage is an abomination. In my place, it's called, I think, Eponkawo. Yes, if a woman cheats on the husband, there's this traditional rights thing that she's going to do, and it could even kill the woman. In the Yoruba culture, it's also there. In every culture in this Nigeria, it exists. Yes, so that is not to say that whether a woman is Igbo or not, or married to an Igbo man, she cannot cheat, guys. It happens everywhere. I mean, that is not to say that women who are married do not cheat. Guys, we've seen cases like that that have happened, that still exist, and that are still ongoing. I have seen cases like that. Even in church, it happens anywhere and anywhere, guys. It doesn't even matter whether the woman is married to a Yoruba man or an Igbo man or a Hausa person, whether the person is from the north, the south, the east or west of Nigeria, whether they are based in Nigeria or even abroad, whether the person is even a Nigerian woman or not, guys. Anybody that wants to cheat will cheat. Women, men, anybody that wants to cheat will cheat. Shit happens. So Uche had asked Caroline if she felt bad about what had happened, what she has said, or if she wanted to own it with her full chest, you know, stand by what she had accused Laura of. Guys, this was the part where my respect for Caroline skyrocketed from 100 to 1,000, because on God, there was no better way that she would have put it.
Do you regret it? Do you take it back? Do you have any apologies? Or do you still own it with your full chest?
Saying it to start on TV, yes, but I still hold on to it.
I picked offense to that. The way Uti asked that question to Caroline, he made it seem like he was deaf to what Laura had said about Caroline, right? And then he made it look like, oh, it was okay for Laura to make such a derogatory statement about Caroline without having facts, without having receipts about it. Yes. Oh, and also because Laura is married, don't you see the harm that could have done to her marriage, to her in-laws calling her, blah, blah, blah. So, oh, it was okay for Laura to say what she said about Caroline, disregarding the fact that Caroline is also a mother of 3, is in a relationship, as she said, and potentially will get married very soon in the future. So what would her fiance or her boyfriend say about what Laura has said? Oh, Uti was not thinking about that. Nobody was thinking about that. But then, oh, everything is wrong with what Caroline said about Laura because Laura is married. She's married to an Igbo man. Cheating is an abomination. No. Nobody has the monopoly of madness. Nobody has the monopoly of opening their mouth and bringing out stinking words. No. And that's the problem with the society. People feel like, oh, single mothers, they are the outcast of the society. Oh, because of that, oh, that's a stigma. Yeah, we can say whatever we want to say about them. Oh, but we cannot say anything we want to say about the ones that are married. Seriously. See, Uti should just be careful before he to chop dragging. Don't come and be doing as if you want to be taking one lady's side against the other woman. Who drag you, Uti? Anyways, the conversation moved on to Laura and Toyin's friendship. We were shown a clip of the intervention scene. Remember the intervention that Iyabo had called for the ladies to come and resolve their issues. It was mostly issues of Laura against the ladies, not just Laura against Caroline. So that was where the Caroline and Laura's fight had broken out, and Toyin had also lashed out at Laura because of Laura's disrespectful remarks to her at Mariam's dinner event. So Laura had stormed out of that venue in tears, and Toyin had followed her and was trying to pacify her, you know, was talking to her, but then Laura was upset and had left. So Uti asked the question that everybody wanted to know of: where is the friendship between the two women now? According to Laura, she was cool with Toyin. She had no issues with Toyin until she started watching the show episode by episode, and then she saw that Toyin had been saying a lot of nasty things about her, behind her back during her confessionals, and she was shocked. She was wondering, like, this person is supposed to be my friend. She's big on loyalty and all what. While she was saying all of that, Toyin's own line of defense was that she was hurt and she will still react the same way because Laura had been rude to her on several occasions. Laura had been disrespectful to her. And before even that one, why would Laura, who claimed to be a friend, had come onto the show and gone ahead to say that, oh, Toyin had told me things about Caroline, that had put her in a bad position. People had dragged her because of that. And for Toyin, that really hurt her because friends are not supposed to tell on each other like that. Basically, Toyin was insinuating that Laura had thrown her under the bus. Yes. And guys, to be very frank with you, it was quite hilarious, yes, because I felt like, but Toyin, you kept on denying telling Laura anything. And then one minute you now accept that, oh, you actually told Laura stuff. And then later you deny telling Laura anything. But Laura kept on maintaining a stance that she's very big on loyalty and would not want to be with a friend, you know, that would attack her that way and say nasty things about her that way. Yes, that she cannot deal with that. Basically, Laura's countenance was looking like she was actually irritated with the things that Toyin had said about her, with Toyin's, I don't know, perception about her. That's the word. And so guys, these two women, they just kept on talking and talking at each other. Toyin, of course, was saying her own piece, just as Laura was saying her own piece. Now, whilst they were talking, I was looking at these two people and I just concluded in my head that, listen, these two people, they were meant for each other. They really fit each other perfectly. Because guys, number one, they both enjoy playing the victim card. I mean, Toyin was accusing Laura of always enjoying playing the victim card, which is the truth, guys. I mean, we saw a lot of that play out. Yes, Laura will instigate shit, she will cause drama, she will do a lot of nasty things, she'll be rude and disrespectful, making a lot of offensive remarks. Her body language and all whatnot is always negative on the show. I mean, save for the few times that she was very bubbly and, you know, spreading excitement around, most of the time on the show, Laura was really toxic, right? And then when you now see her breaking down, you know, in a vulnerable state, she'll now start playing the victim mode. Everybody hates me, nobody likes me, nobody wants me to be a part of the group, blah, blah, blah. So we've seen Laura play all of that. And to be very frank with you all guys, Toyin was right in that regard. But that Toyin too was playing the victim card because, hey, you said things about Caroline to Laura, you said things about other people too. So why are you acting like, oh, Laura is the only bad person, Laura is the only one that was toxic? Toyin, you were also toxic. In your own subtle way, you were toxic. Guys, to be very frank with you, I was just watching these two women and the only thing I could conclude was that they are perfect for each other. Yes, they're perfect for each other. Number one, they both play the victim card to perfection. Number two, both of them, they like drama. They like the attention. Yes, the only difference is that Laura is very, very outright with her attention-seeking attitude. Yes, Laura is very outright with her dramatic self, whilst Toyin, on the other hand, she's not very outright, but she is the instigator. She pushes Laura into doing things and fighting her battles for her, which she is not admitting at all. So guys, I just like, you know what, at the end of the day, both of you will be all right. That place where una they meet, they go gossip, una go meet for there again, and you continue your friendship. And so the last but not the least conversation on this particular episode of the reunion show was the Caroline and Toyin's friendship that went south. Guys, we were shown clips of Toyin saying a lot of nasty things about Caroline and richly expressing her deep resentment, her dislike for Caroline. I mean, she outrightly said it a number of times. And then after the clips were played, Uti went ahead and asked Toyin about the genesis of it all. How did it happen? What happened? When? How? Why? What? You know? And Toyin went ahead to talk about, oh, they had issues 12 years ago. And then on the show, she had gone ahead to ask what's her name, Caroline, about her marriage at the Abuja trip because she was intentional about asking because she wanted Caroline to tell people, you know, about it. Hey, there was nothing about it, and then it all went messy. When Toyin gave that brief explanation, guys, to be frank with you, it was quite funny because during the interview that she granted, she had stated on that interview, that's off the show, that she was deliberate about that question because she had heard Caroline saying that, oh, she was the one responsible, and then Caroline had also accused Linda Ikeji, Laura's sister, of being partially responsible for the breakup of a marriage. So she wanted Caroline to come and say it in the presence of the rest of the women. And guys, we all reacted to that because we felt like, nah, that is wrong. That is wrong. You claim that you know, people have squashed your 12-year-old beef, but then you are bringing that conversation again. It's you trying to instigate shit. So Uti had gone ahead to ask Caroline, you know, to give her own narrative. Now, it was at this point that Caroline wanted to start speaking that Toyin did not even allow her speak. Toyin just automatically started interrupting, interjecting, objecting, attacking. Guys, Toyin did not want Caroline to speak. Caroline kept on telling her, Toyin, let me speak. You had the floor, you spoke, nobody interrupted you. Let me speak, let me say my own piece. And Toyin's line of defense was, oh, I'm not gonna allow you to be saying your lies. So as you're saying your lies, let me be interrupting you. I'm like, Toyin, calm down. You never reached to fight yet. When it's time for you to wear your boxing gloves, you will shalaye, you will do what you want to do. But for now, chill. But guys, Toyin refused. She just continuously, you know, doing all of that. Interrupting, objecting, attacking, even resorting to insulting Caroline. Now guys, that was the point that these two women, they continuously attacked each other verbally. You know, the altercation was massive, guys, and they said a lot. A whole lot was said, a lot of tea was spilled. Now Toyin's own line of attack against Caroline was Caroline's broken marriage. Toyin kept on saying words like, oh, that man beat you to pulp, your husband beat you up, you stayed in the marriage, blah, 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 attacking Caroline. Caroline's own line of attack at Toyin was, you literally blame everybody for your downfall. You've accused Nengi, you've accused Christy, you've accused Swanky Jerry, you've accused everybody. I was in a friendship situation with you for the duration of 2 months, and in that 2 months, you accused me of sleeping with 5 different people that you were with. Hey God, guys. Hectic. See, as I'll always say on this channel, you see the thing going on between Toyin and Caroline, guys. It's not my business. I can't even comment on it because 12 years ago, I was still a baby. I was still trying to figure out my way in life. I went there. I was not there. So I cannot say anything. But what concerns me in their conversation is the reunion show. All right? Is Toyin's reaction during this reunion show. Number one, her attitude, the way she started attacking and jumping on Caroline when Caroline was speaking, guys, for me, it just felt like, is that something Toyin is trying to hide? Is Toyin feeling guilty about something? Is that the reason why she does not want Caroline to really speak coherently so that we can understand what Caroline is saying? I mean, you've given your narrative, you had the floor to speak. Why don't you want Caroline to speak as well? I mean, frankly, guys, it just felt like Toyin was afraid of Caroline saying things. I mean, guys, we know say Caroline has a bad mouth. Oh my God. Caroline has a bad mouth. You don't want to have issues with Caroline. She'll wash you down. She'll wash you down. She will say your secret. She will spill it. Honestly, whether she's lying or not, we cannot even tell, but she will spill it. You know, so the fact that Toyin kept on shutting up Caroline, I just felt like, nah. This is obviously a sign of guilt. This is a sign of Toyin being scared of something. Toyin probably does not want Caroline to say something. And guys, we are going to find out soon, hopefully before the end of the reunion. And that was when we saw snippets of the next episode of the reunion, guys. I am assuring you, it's going to be hot. It's going to be wild. I was already hearing Mariam talking about something about, oh, they'll collect your star. And I'm wondering, who is going to collect somebody's star? And Mariam had presented Caroline with a gift. And guys, I know that whatever is in that box is not going to be nice. So we're going to find out in the next episode of the reunion. Meanwhile, I want to remind all of you once again, you know how we do on this channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Go ahead and share your thoughts. I don't want to come and hear, Glory, you're supporting Caroline. Glory, you're... Nah. Let's be mature about it, all right? Whoever you're supporting, whatever you want to say, just drop it all down in the comment section below. Let's express our opinions, all right? And guys, do not forget that tomorrow is Saturday. What happens on here is our family meeting, our FSWG Saturday YouTube live stream. It happens 3 p.m. WAT. You do not want to miss out. Tomorrow's conversation is going to be intense. So please make it a date with us, and I will see you guys on another episode of Frankly Speaking with Real Elijah. Do have an amazing, amazing Friday. Bye.